Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. Now obviously we have already taken a look at Goku and Final Form Frieza, however they received a buff shortly after the build video that we did. So now why don't we take a look at how well they do after their buff. Now firstly I'd just like to say that I think their buff overall was pretty good. And I think the changes made to them were very good. It's put them really up to the top and makes their new mechanic very strong. But let's talk about them very quickly. So in terms of the ultimate abilities and the abilities and that, not too much was changed on the actual construction side. So for example, if we take a look at the special ability, pretty simple stuff, kind of basically the same as what it was. Shoulder throw can now be comboed, which is pretty good. Allows you to obviously draw cards, restore your ki. All of that is the same except for the combo ability, and a lot of that's had to really change. So for example, a big mechanic for them that obviously mattered a lot was their Rising Rush nullification, and that Rising Rush nullification was incredibly crucial to how they function as a unit. And this hasn't changed, but what has changed and what's made it so very good is basically they've added a 7-second reduction to their substitution time count whenever the ally is, or Rising Rush has been activated. It cancels the enemy's buff effects as well, and also knocks them back into long range whilst providing combo into this. So now you can switch in for the Rising Rush, prevent the Rising Rush. You have a reduced substitution time count, so it's less of a closed window. The big issue before, essentially with them as a unit, was that basically once they subbed out, a lot of the times the opposition would basically just immediately Rising Rush you once they'd baited your Vanish Step, because they knew they had 9 seconds, but now they don't. Now they only have 2 seconds really as a realistic window, while the nullification ability is up, which is quite a short period of time to be able to bait a Vanish Engage and then move into it. So it's a very, very strong ability now, and the fact that it can now combo into a special move is going to be pretty crucial. Now they also adjusted a couple things about Goku. Frieza, I think they changed a little bit less. Personally, they didn't need to adjust Frieza so much, and that makes sense. They did adjust Goku a little bit. They adjusted his damage reduction percentages a little bit. They adjusted how much damage reduction he gains when switching in. He's now obviously got a little bit of further damage reduction when he enters the battlefield of 10%, which is obviously very crucial, and just allows him to take the edge off of attacks. Because what was happening as well is Goku felt very, very squishy. And a lot of the times you were getting rushed, you were getting baited, and then you were getting insta-clocked and just kind of knocking Goku and Frieza out. And it's something I commented on when I first used them. They definitely felt good, but they felt fragile. And the Rising Rush mechanic, although powerful, felt like it was a very small windowed gap to use it in. Now that's changed, and a lot of their weaknesses were addressed, and it's been very impactful. I think they've immediately became one of the top 3 units in the game, functionally speaking. I think they are very, very strong. You'll see them run on plenty of teams, and they have plenty of great builds. Now obviously we're still talking melee. They still have a ton of Zenkai options because they count as purple and blue for both Pure Saiyan and obviously Wicked or Lineage of Evil. So it's pretty crazy how many Zenkai boosts they can get. Now, in terms of feel, I think they feel a lot better. I think they run way better. I think they are far easier to use for normal players, and you need to have less of an understanding of their gap. Or it's a less finicky to use some of their best abilities, and I think that's very obvious, very evident on the change. Look at them. Their place in the meta right now is also quite strong. There is a Ultra Vegeta Blue running around who's very good, obviously super duper strong. And the thing with them is obviously they have that ability to switch into a blue type unit. So bringing them provides you with double coverage, and having double coverage is really good. A lot of the times you'll see them Ultra Gogeta Blue and a Ultra Vegeta Blue, and you already feel like you're on the back end because it's probably 3 of the top 5 units in the game that are coming at you. Now what they do provide is good damage. You can see Goku doing some really nice damage here. Moving into the special doing some pretty good damage as well. And yeah, you get that restore vanishing gauge now on switching Frieza in, which is crucial. All of a sudden you can reset yourself and basically treat it like as if you've reset to another fighter. So it really gives that 4th fighter feel that you tend to have with tag units. And I think looking at Frieza's a great unit. Also big damage, huge damage off of the LT, and really good in situations now because of the fact that there's Ultra Vegeta Blue. And you could see there, really big damage. Switching into Goku, who gets damage reduction, really solid. So you can see right away that they're really starting to work together. One thing as well is, especially with Ultra Vegeta Blue coming out, the kind of prominence of them is very important, because Ultra Vegeta Blue, a big part of his mechanic, not that it's crucial to him, but a very big part of his mechanic is that he makes the Rising Rush very easy to get. So Vegeta Blue makes the Rising Rush very easy to obtain, and what this does is he kind of backs people into a corner. You feel a lot of pressure from Rising Rush. Goku and Frieza alleviate that pressure, because if your opponent pops a Rising Rush, you can just nullify it, and by nullifying it, you basically immediately present yourself with the opportunity to, how can I say, essentially like combo into a special move of yourself. So it's a very strong capability, and you can see it used a lot to kind of prevent like people and to control the battlefield. And if you have both Ultra Vegeta Blue and Goku and Frieza, then you have a lot of control over the flow of the battle, because not only do you control or have an accelerated Rising Rush of your own, but you can nullify the opponent's Rising Rush as well. So you kind of have big control over the Rising Rush, and as we all know, Rising Rush is a very big factor when it comes to functionality, when it comes to the operation of PvP. Rising Rush is crucial. It's most times it's an auto delete of a character, especially now with how nullification works and everything. It's essentially a auto delete, and that's pretty big. That's a pretty big capability, if I do say so myself. So obviously, I think it's important to understand that Goku and Frieza are a strong unit in the meta for a variety of reasons. Well beyond just them being a reliable unit, they're a very strong unit. And you can see, we have made Frieza really work here. We're now going to get the legendary finish, which is probably, at least for me, the most humiliating legendary finish, because it is the longest legendary, or it feels like the longest legendary finish in the game. It is like an entire episode of the damn anime. It is so long, but it's cool. I mean, it's a really cool one. Obviously, it's really a lot of fun. And yeah, these guys are really good now. I've really enjoyed using them. I'm using them, obviously, as you can see, on a adaptation of the very popular purple team. And yeah, they got a lot of boosts, a lot of boosting here, and just a very strong team in general. Very good team. I really enjoyed using them, so it's a lot of fun from my side. Beyond that, yeah, I think Goku and Frieza are a bit more even now. I do think Frieza's probably still the better unit, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I would say, overall, Frieza's still slightly better off, but I think now they're much more even. I think switching between them has less effect on your gameplay style. Frieza will probably get a lot more coverage, just because of the strength of Ultra Vegeta Blue. Having a blue unit that is as good as Frieza is going to be pretty useful towards taking on that character and being able to take on, obviously, Ultra Vegeta Blue is going to be a big part of the meta right now, at least from my perspective. But obviously, you know, beyond that, I would say, like, at least for me, Goku, Frieza, they do really good damage. The special move is really good. The combo ability into it is really strong. You can see here, you know, flinging out the special card, then throwing the special move, doing some really good damage, almost eliminating the Goku and Frieza themselves. Obviously, he does the return play towards me, which is fine. That's how it works. But yeah, it really is a good kind of positioning to be in. And I think, you know, you have to assess just how strong, you know, like this team is and how good they are in combination with Ultra Vegeta Blue. I think, you know, there's a possibility to say that it's going to take a lot to squeeze those two out the meta. I do think they are strong teams right now. I think they're doing better at building better teams. But I think, you know, as long as you have a melee-orientated team build that you can functionally put them on, I think they are going to be very good. I think maybe tankiness-wise, especially when the featured boost drops, there you might have some issues, and I think that's something you can't truly avoid. I think it's just something you're going to have to accept. So yeah, I will say that is maybe one cause for concern, because they're still not super, you know, super duper tanky. It's not something you can holistically, but by the way, you can see the Rising Rush counter, really strong, completely disrupts his momentum. And I think, yeah, that's something you're not going to be able to take away from them. Rising Rush notification, until it becomes more common, until it becomes something that every unit has, is going to be something you can't really change. Unfortunately, it's going to be something that they as a unit have specifically over other units. So yeah, I think overall they're very, very good. I think the buffs were excellent. I think it's the first time I've ever seen them do it. I think, you know, all things considered, I think they maybe, I don't want to say overdid it, but you can see why they don't often do it. I think functionally now they are probably twice the unit they were before. And I think, yeah, you just have to accept that they are in an excellent space, at least from my perspective. So yeah, very, very good stuff, excellent, and I think their buffs were really good. But let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, take care, stay safe, and let me know what you think about them buffing units and about them buffing Goku Frieza, and if you use them, if you don't, and yeah, just basically everything else. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.